Oh, there we go. All right, go live. There it is. I think I got it now. Now we're live. Okay. I figured it out. Finally.
Yes.
Boom.
Oh man, I always look so much worse on that.
And we're here, everybody.
I knew it. The dark side will be our host for this evening.
Come to the dark side. Okay, that's gonna get really hot really fast. All right, you guys go ahead, get started. I'm gonna put my horns on.
Please, Adam.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening for the Amigos show. We have an extra special guest, Miss Jen Berger-Coleman, joining us from her serene backyard with furry friends as well there.
Yeah.
So the bird soundtrack is provided by JBC tonight.
And now I think there's a police helicopter possibly too.
Oh, okay. Back to reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also have Mr. Legion here from New South Wales, Australia. Thanks for coming on, Mr. Legion.
Not a problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah. And also Vandal. We've got him too. No, big love. Thanks everyone for coming on. I guess this is potentially our last episode being hosted by Mr. Malone of the Three Amigos, which we will be talking about a little bit later, moving the format. But we kind of wanted to use, can I just jump straight into it? Is that all right, everyone?
Yeah.
Do it.
Go. Dive in.
Awesome. We wanted to use this platform tonight to talk a little bit about some advocacy situations, particularly here locally in my country, South Australia, and the situation of what's going on. Legislation is about to be enforced with our new South Australian laws surrounding purchasing of vape products and display of that situation for vape stores. It was brought to our attention a couple of weeks ago from a vape store owner that the Tobacco Control Unit, which is effectively the group that polices the legislation and laws here in this state for SA Health, had not received any feedback from customers or consumers in how the changing situation will affect them. I thought that was a little bit strange. So I discussed it with my wife, who is, as you all know, Vape Advocacy AU on the platforms. And we kind of came up with the idea of putting together a survey for customers. Everybody always hears about businesses and how hard it is for businesses when, new laws and legislations get enacted. And, here, basically, businesses are either closing or they have moved into state at a, big financial loss. But what happens to the customers and the consumers that are left behind? How will this affect them? So we came up with a bit of a situation where we wanted to provide feedback to the TCU and to SA Health, real people, like real stories and real situations on how that now affects humans. So my brilliant wife came up with a survey that we would love you to all take part in if you're a South Australian resident. The situation is, and I'm sure, Jen will probably have a lot to say about this, yes, it is another survey. Yes, it is, effectively comments that we will be putting towards a legislation that we probably will not be able to change as it's been voted in and is now law, but we wanted to give people the opportunity to present that in a way to the TCU. We're not an advocacy non-for-profit group. We're not, don't have a lot of finances behind us. So I guess effectively we're just real people, and that was how we wanted to present it to, the body that needs to hear it the most. So, Jen, potentially could you offer any insight to, surveys like this that get presented to the lawmakers? How do they get received?
Well, I mean, yeah, So the chances, if it's already law, of course, are slim, but you never know until you try. You know, there's been a lot of things, even here in California, that like Stefan has beaten back almost single-handedly, you know what I mean? Just by showing up and by bringing consumers and letting the lawmakers know, hey, these are your people, this is how they feel. You know, it doesn't always work. In fact, it often doesn't work, but unless you try, it's most certainly not going to work. And so, you know, I know people get really sick of surveys and really sick of calling their lawmakers and stuff, but the times where we do win, that's what happened. It's because people took the time to let them know how they feel. And sometimes it works. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. So.
Yeah. Exactly. We just wanted to give people the opportunity, I guess, you know, to voice their concern, or, you know, pros and cons. I mean, obviously people who might feel very strongly against, you know, in favor of the legislation, you know, will take part as well. And we hope they do, you know, but I guess this is a numbers game, like all surveys are. The more people that we can get involved, you know, the more, you know, the bigger effect it has, because data can be a powerful thing, you know, so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You certainly won't win if you don't try. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'll just say also the way to get a hold of this survey is you can check my own Instagram. The link will be in the bio there, or vapeadvocacy.au, you know, who needs to be given a massive congratulations for, you know, for getting this together. It's not an easy situation to put something as simple as a few questions together to be collated at the end. So, you know, big love to Vape Advocacy AU for getting it together. But you can go... Yeah, you can go to breezetones.com /advocacy. It'll take you straight to the survey if you're in South Australia. Yeah, please get involved.
I'll post it everywhere.
Yeah, much appreciated. And that was also, I guess, a little bit of the situation of why we tried to do it, is because vape stores, you know, I'm sure anywhere in the world, you know, a lot of them are aligned with each other or not aligned with each other. You know, it can be hard to get the numbers together. And this survey was kind of written in a way that we hoped that could be for every single one of their customers. You know, stores need a voice, and customers are the best place to do that, because they're not, you know, financially involved in the business. That, you know, they are the consumer. So this can be you know, any one customer that walks through that door, you know, could effectively take part in this survey. So, you know, that was really the main, you know, driving forces, that we could provide something for all businesses and not just, you know, a certain group or a certain affiliation. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and believe it or not, there are way more people that walk into vape shops than are on Instagram and Facebook in the vape groups. You know, you feel like, oh, okay, I've reached a couple hundred people, or maybe even 1,000, you know, if you're lucky, when you post something. But there's 100 times more than that walk into vape shops every day that have no idea what's going on Instagram and Facebook. So that's always your best bet, is getting the actual people. You know, I mean, we can do what we can posting on Instagram, but there's a lot more people that go into a shop that aren't aware of what we're doing
at all. At all.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's the best part too, because you're hitting the audience that's outside of the perspective of advocacy. Especially with Instagram, we're kind of repeating a lot of the same stuff to the same people, and we can, you know, put in as much as we can, but we need the help from the people that don't have any idea, because a lot of these people go in and they buy their stuff and go on their way, and they don't realize that this is happening behind the scenes until they show up one day and their vape store is closed down or stopped. So this is perfect for that, especially if you provide an easy way for them to do it. Then why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's so easy. I think it's so easy. It's easy to forget that when we're on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, that's a very, very small percentage of the total amount of vapors. There are millions and millions that have no concept. They just no idea what's going on, and they don't pay attention to us. We need to find ways to get beyond it. I think your idea of putting it in the stores where they, you know, they're actually going to come across it really increases our reach. Or your reach.
Yeah. The idea is to run the survey for a few weeks, and present the data back to the correct group in a very professional manner, or as professional as we can, so that it's you know, it is a statement as such that is easy to understand and easy to see, hopefully, that, you know, the result. So
Brilliant.
Yeah. I'm so well. You've been part of so many, Jenna. Certainly not, you know, not something that we've, you know, has not been done before. So it's just, yeah.
Like I said, you don't know till you try.
Yeah.
And you can't. I mean, we all get discouraged. We all take our beatings at these hearings and whatnot when the laws get passed. But you got to just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah.
I got some the advocacy thing before we shut that one down. If anyone follows Local Vape Distro or Anarchist on Instagram, we posted a graphic to our stories about a flavor ban that's possible in Albany. They already fought it off before. They're trying to bring it back. The best thing would be people to show up. For all the information you need, you can either message me directly or on the Local or Anarchist stories. There's a bunch of good info on there. Just a simple email is all you need to do if you can. And if you're in the area, they could really use people to show up. And they do it on weekdays, knowing that most people work. But if you can make it, please do it. We have people out there that are like, you know, they're fighting out there. And one of the people that are there personally, last time he went, only about 10 people showed up, but those 10 people stopped the vote from going through at that moment, which means it doesn't matter how small of a group it is. You just got to go out there and show that it's something that you don't want, something that the people don't want. These people are here to serve you. They're here to serve the community. Make sure that your voices are heard.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You've been served.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Shall we potentially get off the heavy situation? And there was a bit of fun the other night on the Queer Your Vape live stream. I didn't get to stay up late enough to watch all of the fun that was going on, because that was way past my bedtime. Yeah.
It was super
chat
fun
about that.
Yeah, they achieved a lot. It was really, really cool, and you know, it was great to take part. But as I said, you know, way past my bedtime.
Well, with how old you are.
Sadly, I slept through the whole thing.
Yeah. I was dribbling at the end there, and I was like, I think I should go. I should probably go. Yeah.
Nothing a cup of coffee couldn't cure. I'm sure.
I haven't even been noticing what's going on in chat. What's going on in chat?
Well, I've been roaming around in there, so
Nice.
yeah, got some people saying some stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, Mr. Bogan was supposed to be with us this evening. He should still be coming. Not sure when he's going to come on here, so he could come on at any time. And yeah, that's really what we wanted to get off the bat there. This is the final episode on the Vape Malone channel. Have a good night, everyone. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we'll talk about some more stuff. What else are we gonna? Oh yeah, let's talk about the Amigos and Co, dude. Let's chat about that a little bit. So next week, right, we'll be completely on the new hub. If you videos will be happening on there from now on. They won't be on my channel anymore and stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. Sorry. For those of you that watch, yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. We've been talking about for a while. We're putting together a community thing of vapors that do other things than just talk about vaping on the channel. We're going to have a little bit of everything. And, you know, it's going to be input based on everyone. There's no money in this. There's nothing in that. We wanted to bring something together so that we can combine everyone together into a community, because there's a million different shows on YouTube that go on in a lot of different times. But with the hub, what we're trying to do is put it all in one place. So when you have the time to get around to it, you can get around to it. You can see everything. We've got some cool stuff coming. We got the local vape sponsorship, to where we got a discount code that directly affects you guys. We don't get anything from it. Basically, it's just You guys get cheaper products for checking out the show, and it shows support to a company that's supporting us. Another cool thing, should we talk about the giveaway stuff right now, or?
Oh no, we're gonna be that channel now. I'm just kidding.
It's all about the free stuff, man.
Yeah, team free shit. That's right.
We're not trying to do anything crazy.
X1,
X1, everyone.
X1. X1.
You know what the best thing about the hub will be is you can finally say, what is all the hubbub about? So,
Indeed.
How do I log out?
dad joke. Horrible dad joke. Anyway, sorry I cut you off there.
For the giveaway stuff, what's happening is if you guys have seen the page Vape Daily on Instagram, I know the guy personally that runs it. He has a bunch of products sitting around just collecting dust, and he was like, hey, you guys are starting a new channel. Be something cool for your guests. He gave us a bunch of stuff to give away for free, just for you guys to have. Does it work? I don't know. No, most of
Is it used?
Yeah. Most of it's sealed up and good. Like I got a couple of them right here. There's a couple kits, some stuff. And we're not trying to be like Desire Design and all that stuff, trying to get clout off of giveaways. We just want to give back to the people that stay with us, people that pay attention. We're doing this for you guys. And so what we'll do is we'll figure out the details. Once a week, we'll give away something. We'll figure out how we're going to do it. But everything that we're doing is going to be directly to you. We're not getting no sponsorships from companies. We're not getting products to shout out. We're not doing anything like that. We're getting stuff to give to you guys for, hanging around, paying attention. Because we appreciate you guys. We love you guys.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
So.
I put in, asked in chat if there was any questions for you, Jen, and Addy Tooney has asked, where is that bug-killing dog of yours?
Addy Tooney, he's now over in the corner of the yard, probably killing bugs. He was up here before the show started. Yep.
Is that a private joke that you need to tell us a crazy story about, or?
He kept jumping on my lap during the Queer Your Vape Pride thing the other day. He'd jump on my lap and then he'd run after a bee. So yeah, it got kind of irritating, up and down, chasing bees.
Nice.
Yeah.
We should probably also address the situation. As you could probably see, Chuck is not here. Chuck has had some things come up, so we send him his love, and and we still thank Jen for coming out to hang out with us.
Absolutely, love to Chuck.
Yeah. Big love. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
What else are we gonna do today?
Last show. That was it.
I bought $4 worth of cheap beer for this.
Prove it.
Yeah. Have you even started them, or were you worried? Oh no. Yep.
What's everybody vaping on? You don't have to tell us your setup or anything. You just tell us what flavor, whatever you want. Go ahead. We'll start with Legion.
Ooh, what am I vaping today? I've got Fresh Farms Strawberry Farm on the that thing. Minikin 3. Yeah, that's the one. Minikin.
Is that the one with the thumb?
Reviews up tomorrow.
With the thumb sensor? Or
the thumb thing that doesn't work.
Yeah,
the thumb thing does not work. It doesn't work. It's a nice mod, but fingerprint sensor, nah.
Yeah.
No good.
Well, they tried.
That's it. That's all I'm vaping today.
Nice.
Yeah, it's worth the effort.
Yeah.
Review.
What about you, Adam? What are you vaping today?
I still have my setups left from the previous show. So I have a Basium with Mr. Matthew Cully's small lip RDA, the Passage. I also have another Passage on the top side dual, but this one's designed for big lips because it's got a big drip tip on it. I also have a couple of little devices. I'm running duals, Caliburns, but everything is provided today by Mr. Labworks.
Wait a minute. Adam, you're vaping pod systems?
Yeah. Yeah, I use them all the time.
You're a coil maker. When did you start vaping pod systems?
He's been doing it for a long time.
You know what's really good about pod systems is when people ask you, like, what is it? It's like, here, you can have this.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough.
I guess I'm one of those vapors that are, you know, everything for a different time and place. And I like it all, you know, so it's one of those situations where, you know, at home, I like the big devices. I also don't want to be that dude, you know, be in the clouds situation in the city. So for my work, the pods are quite effective. Yeah.
My problem is even if I have a pod system. Go on.
Oh, no, sorry. You have a pod system?
Even when I get a pod system, still get big clouds. It's not stealth. I must have big lungs.
Yep, indeed. I should pass off to Miss Jen.
I am, let's see, I'm vaping some Final Boss Nemesis. It's a pineapple upside down cake. It's delicious.
I've been wanting to try that one.
Yeah, that's in my TBO Revenant Delta Squonk with the Alliance Tech Flav 24 millimeters single coil little guy. And since Addie Tooney's here, I'm vaping Addie's yogurt in my little pug with my little single coil mini Kylan here.
Nice.
That's all I have right now with me. Yeah.
Very jealous of your pug.
It's so cute. It's so tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pugs are cool.
Yeah, I had to put a single coil on it because the battery life is shit if you put a dual coil. But
oh yeah, because it's only a little 80 water and it's internal battery, so yeah, it just eats through it. It's super cool though that it takes 3 different types of cords. So
seriously,
the USB-C, the iPhone, and the micro USB, like that's for I don't know. Some people may think that's silly, but like, it's just in case you're out and about and you only have one cord with you. You don't have, if you have an iPhone, you know, and you don't roll with a USB-C or a micro USB all the time, and you only have your iPhone cord, you can still charge your vape.
Yep. That's I bought it after I saw Bogan's review actually on it, where he was like, yeah, you could, you know, you can't, no one ever has an excuse not to lend you their charger if you're like out and about. Just, hey, I don't care what charger you have. So
I can use all of them.
Yeah. Guys, unfortunately, I have to wrap this up. I got to go visit my friend.
It's all good.
But
thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you having me. I'm super honored and grateful to be here with all of you. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
We'll do it another time.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye, Jen.
Bye. Oh.
Oh, wow.
And then there were 4.
Big faces now. Okay. Okay. Who's next?
That would be Vandal.
Chris, what are you vaping?
You go. I don't want to go there.
Some homemade juice. It's Vandal Squeeze. No, I'm just joking. As always. And then, you know, the
good choice.
On like 2 seconds.
What?
Oh, geez. My internet is being potato. Sorry.
It's all right. You and Legion can fight it out for the worst internet tonight.
I know who would win.
There it goes.
Surprised I'm still going.
We're back. Jen hasn't even been gone for 2 seconds, and you're already making your own squeeze jokes.
Well, it's like, like, you know, your parents leave the house is the first thing you do. Eat all the hot.
Raid their liquor cabinet?
Oh, that's it, I guess, yeah. I guess I'm not
Indeed.
that cool.
Steal their cigarettes?
I would drink all, I'd steal all the mixed nothing in it. And I'm like, dude, I'm so drunk right now off this margarita mix. And it's just like salt and water.
So you were a bright kid.
Yeah,
Ouch.
you don't
Awesome.
know what it's like to be sugar and try to skateboard at the same time. Cool.
Yep. Cool.
So are you vaping those new builds, Chris?
Huh?
What have you got? What have you got on top of those mods?
It's still the goat. That video that I sent you though was going for Erica's coils. Actually, that was Erica. She's vaping on Brewstones right now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
I don't
Awesome.
that. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
Suck ass.
yeah. Because I was using the good wire for that. Yeah.
So then,
What happens now?
we don't waste these people's time. They took the time to be here. Has anyone got any questions about what's going on with the new Amigos?
Oh, well, nobody ever asked me what the fuck I was vaping
Oh,
on.
sorry, Kevin. What are you vaping on, baby? We can barely see.
I got this
Oh,
anarchist hexome here with the afterbirth on top. All drip tip. And then I got some coil turd, a liquid for vaping inside, peach tea lemonade, and it is refreshing as fuck.
Nice.
that's summertime.
Yeah, it's my favorite. One of my favorite. Okay, it's not my absolute number one, top one favorite. But it is like probably number 2 favorite lemonade e-liquid out there. So basically, I'm just gonna try and continue to try and clone it. So, and have it for free because it's expensive.
Hey, I've got an e-liquid question. Have you all tried Vinyl and Vapors e-liquid range?
Not yet.
Haven't had a chance yet. No.
No, I have
Yeah,
some.
right.
I had some sent to me by Chuck, and I was supposed to do a review on it, and I promised that I would not crack the bottles until I did the review, and the bottles are still sitting right there.
How can you not touch them? Wow.
It's called, something. There's a
Restraint.
word for it.
Restraint.
I'm not a dictionary, guys.
Self-control.
Yeah, self-control. Because he's, I saw on Insta that he's got pod versions out that are not salt nick. They are freebase or freebase nick, which will be very interesting.
I always hated the term freebase nick. I know there's reasoning behind it, but it just sounds like you're doing drugs. So just saying.
Freebase.
Please, let's not
It's,
make it sound like we're doing heroin. Like,
Just today, one of the people over in Iraq that carry one of the juice lines that we supply called it free base, and I was like, I'm not sharing that to our stories. That just feels weird. I'm like,
it does. Doesn't feel right.
I grew up in the
Well-
90s with Nickelback. That's a bad word.
So what's the real term for it?
Because all the Vandals just want to be big rock stars.
What was that, Adam?
So what do you call it? What's the real name for it if it's not freebase?
I don't even know what you guys classify as free base. Is that like Nick Free then? Like zero Nick?
Well, there's traditional Nick, salt Nick, and then the other one,
Stem?
the tobacco-free nicotine.
Okay, and what's
Right.
stem?
TFN. What's STEM?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a LabWorks question. I ain't never heard of that shit.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
Stem
yeah.
cells.
You lost me on that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm tripping, but I thought there was a
Stop by
another.
the guy on the corner with the trench coat.
Yeah. You're selling the good stuff. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
As far as the small bottles, I think that a lot of people call it that over in the UK and stuff. There's a TPD compliant stuff, but you can also do like short fills, and so there's just so much different stuff across the whole world with like vape bottling and names and phrases and stuff because it's different cultures all over. So there's a lot of stuff that a lot of us don't even know, you know.
Yep, indeed. I think I've also heard Mr. Labworks talk about a non-plant derived nicotine that people are, also using.
Synthetic nicotine.
Synthetic nic. Okay, there you go. Yep.
Good.
What are the regulations
I've
involving
heard.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's the same as regular. It's still nicotine. I've heard varied reports from people about how effective or how nice it tastes.
Sorry, fellas.
But yeah, it's still the same chemical components. So it's just not.
Right.
It's lab created rather than extracted.
Okay. Yeah.
Fake diamond.
3M. 3M created.
I think I'm gonna go outside because my internet is being super stupid right now, and I think we'll get better connection if I just, yeah. If you guys,
Stupid up.
You guys just keep talking amongst yourself. Yeah.
Well, we'll only be satisfied if you get in the pool with like a floaty.
And a margarita.
Yeah, for sure, dude. More. All right, I'm gonna close my screen for a minute. I'm still here though.
Hey, thank you, boo.
Just go ahead and keep going.
Is he Wi-Fi-ing
I'm
it?
just gonna, taking a walk, stroll through the house.
This is why we need Chuck. He fills the awkward silences.
All right. Yeah, dude.
Because he just goes nonstop. That's why.
Well, I was hoping that they would talk about the post flavor situation in Cali. That would have been an interesting insight to see what was going on inside that room.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you can see it. Chuck did a thing last week, and he went to one of the actual hearings. He tried to do some live streaming, but he has terrible internet inside a government building. And I can speak to a little bit of that because when we did it here in Las Vegas, I don't know about what they did there. It seemed more adult oriented, but out here they shipped a bunch of kids in and then fed this kid words that you can tell he couldn't sound out with clapping syllables and stuff like that. So, I just have this personal opinion that in 20 years when all this shit stops hitting the fan and people realize this is a better alternative when you're buying it from Marlboro, we're going to look back at these mother people and then realize that they're scumbags for using children to push an agenda. And I was talking to someone today about it. I think more kids got introduced to vaping by being bussed into these hearings than in real life interactions. A lot of these kids probably never would have ever had to deal with vaping stuff except until they dealt with these people that are these lawmakers and these groups trying to push this agenda, and they bust in 40, 50 kids from a local urban high school, to sit there to try to push a point, and they see vaping more in that way than they actually see the benefits of adults using it, people that are trying to quit smoking using it. This isn't, I don't wake up in the morning like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, backflip, I'm going to go hit this fucking juice. I like to do that instead of smoking cigarettes because I'm not dying at the end of the fucking, at the end of it,
Mm.
So.
And those are not gunshots.
I'm convinced that,
I promise.
I'm convinced that the majority of kids that are vaping across the states, they're only doing so because, all the propaganda against vaping has made it more attractive. When I was a kid, when we were all kids, the whole anti-weed, anti-drug propaganda just made drugs seem that much more cool and that much more appealing to us. It never worked in the way that they thought it was going to work. It made us want to do it more. Yeah. And they're doing the exact same thing now. And I'm pretty sure that they know what they're doing. They're making kids want to vape so that they can then point to them and shut us down.
Use those numbers to their advantage.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just like, like the Truth Initiative, they're one of the biggest proponents of these, the anti-smoking and anti-vaping commercials. And to my knowledge, a vaping company has yet to use an underage kid to promote their products in any way, shape, or form. So, but yet it's allowable for this Truth Initiative to let underage people smoke and vape, regardless of if it has nicotine in it or not. That doesn't matter. That's showing when kids see that, they're like, oh, these kids are doing it. That's exactly what it looks like. I want to look like that. I want to be on TV. I want to be that kid. You know what I mean? And it's no surprise too that big tobacco funnels money into the back end, right up the back end of the Truth Initiative. So there's that too. Why are they funding the people that are supposed to be against them?
Yep. And
because it's just a way for them to market their product.
Yep. And to speak on what you and Legion also said, like, you put a warning label on something, that makes it cool. When you're a kid, you didn't fucking feel risky or have like that adrenaline rush of walking into a library. You had that jumping a fence into somewhere you shouldn't have been, or like doing something you shouldn't have done. So it just makes it cool for kids. And then, like he said, it's just going to turn around and it benefits them in the end because it gives them the numbers that they can use against us.
Yep.
When I was a kid, every TV show, at least once a season, had a very special episode about drugs. And usually it was some characters that were just brought in for that episode. And you would see these wholesome little kids getting pulled in, and then you'd see these horrible punk rock kids over here doing lots of drugs. And I always watched those shows and it was like, but those punk rock kids are so much cooler. They dress cool and they listen to good music and they're fun. And I don't want to be like the main characters. They're fucking boring. I want to be like those guys. I better go buy some weed. So, I think exactly the same thing. Going kids dressed up as like, oh, they're all edgy and they got the cool shirt flipped up and the hip haircut and they're pulling on a jewel. I'm pretty sure if I was 13, I'd be doing the exact same thing. Looking at that going, I want to be cool like those guys. Better get a shirt, a cool haircut, and a jewel. Better get one. Again, just my opinion.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
Didn't those shows back in the day, they used to always put the warning at the start, like saying this show, or, depicting drug use or whatever, It was never about violence or anything. It was always like, that this show is encountering drugs or, I just seem to remember that about certain shows that were not, that wasn't the regular content. It was a family show that was going to say, something else about that one show.
You put that in the front of the adds to the drama. People think that they got to take it more. Not necessarily you shouldn't take things seriously that people shouldn't be doing, but it makes you think more critically of things. And then when you're thinking critically, they go ahead and portray this image on the show or the idea of it. And then you're thinking of it in that light. You're not like, oh, this is an opinion. I may have this or that way. They're telling you this is bad. And then instantly you watch something and like, this is bad. Like, of course, we don't want kids doing this shit, but they feed you into it. They lead you on. They make sure that you have this idea from the start so that you don't look at positive light. Because there have been people that approach me about vaping here in Las Vegas, the city of fucking sin, thinking like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then like, I'll be vaping like, oh, that's the worst thing for you. That's way worse than cigarettes. Don't you know that, young man? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, actually, but yeah, if they see it on TV or the internet, it's got to be true. That's why we're on the internet, because what we're saying is true. You better believe. No. But yeah.
Glenn Hefner brings up an interesting point. What about the billions that tobacco companies make targeting individuals in war zones and military garrisons? Is that for real?
So when I was in the Army, I'll speak from my personal experience. Obviously, I don't speak for everyone. When I was stateside, we would be like in barracks and stuff like that. It's where you stayed. If you weren't married, you would stay on the base in a big like giant dorm area with rooms shared with people, basically like an apartment. And then you'd have these companies that come on base and do like events, right? They'd have little t-shirt cannons or whatever, and they'd be giving you free gifts, free cigarettes, t-shirts, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And like, obviously, like in the military, it's pretty rampant with stuff like that because when I was in, I like to smoke cigarette. That was a stress reliever for me. After a long day of like getting chewed out or working on something, or when I was overseas, some critical things happened around me. It was a stress relief. It's easy to get sucked into that, but yes, and they used to give out packs of cigarettes in MREs. The government had cigarettes in the lunch bags that they would give you for your meal for the day, and you would have a pack of fucking Marlboros to smoke after you ate your freeze-dried bread. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't believe that.
I mean, if you're gonna go out, right? Go out with some freeze-dried food and a cigarette.
I cannot believe that.
So there's definitely their hands are everywhere, man. And like, I'm not trying to say it's a losing battle. That's not something I want to say because, you know, we got to keep hope on the forefront. But man, we're in for a fight. We're in for a fight.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a question. I was approached a little while ago to review a pod product. I said yes with some reservations, and I reviewed it. And I got kind of nailed in the comments because it's blue, belongs to Imperial Tobacco, and, you know, shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. Yeah. And so yeah, I got a question because it started me thinking, and I've been pondering this for a while. Big corporations, big, giant, multi-billion fucking money corporations, they're not going to go away, ever. You're never going to get rid of them. Corporations that are making a profit don't just stop. They get bought, they get folded in, they might get broken apart, but they don't just stop. So yeah, we want to end smoking. We want the world to wake up and start embracing what we're doing for our health. But these corporations aren't going to go away. They may stop doing tobacco, they may move to something else, but they're not going away. So what's your thoughts on these companies moving to vaping? Hold on, because here's the thing. I'm of two minds about this. Yeah, they've done horrible things in the past, and they continue to. But if the corporations did move into vaping, and they did so in a non-aggressive, more open way, would that be the worst thing in the world? Or would that actually help us because they've got a lot of money and a lot of power to change things where we kind of don't have that clout behind us? And I'm not saying that I believe that. I'm questioning it. I'm wondering. I'm not 100% sure where I'm at.
I would say that it's a double-edged sword because, you know, if they use their power for good, which normally big corporations don't, then yeah, that's cool. But what's up, Bogan? Thanks for joining us, dude. But you know, on the other hand, it's like this company is massive. It has the clout and the reach to deliver it to way more people than little small e-liquid companies or vaping companies ever could. So, like I said, it's a double-edged sword because really, at the end of it, right? You're basically putting your faith on this giant corporation to do something good with their power, and you know, in the past, that just really hasn't happened.
How would it be in San Francisco if Altria had been able to like completely stop the ban? Like, how would people or vapors feel about that? You know?
Yeah, good question.
And like Kevin was saying, it's a double-edged sword. It'll bring it to light on the mainstream to where people will understand that vaping is a good cessation device. And bringing that to light will be a byproduct of what they're doing. There's always going to be someone bigger and better. I don't care what vape company you think you know. They're not that big. None of them are that big. None of them are that big to fight these guys. They're going to come in. They're going to do it. When we can take what we can from these big companies coming in and doing things like this, to bring what vaping actually does for people to mainstream light. But will we benefit from what they're doing? No, because they have the money, they have the reach, they have the convenience stores. But we have to take it with stride. You got to keep out there providing your products. And if anyone hasn't noticed, since vaping started back 10 years ago, if you create something good, you'll have people that stick with you. It's all about providing to the audience. But anyways, Bogan's here.
How are you?
Sam!
Yeah.
Like that shirt, man.
Lucky I got in here. What the fuck? Where's Chuck?
He could not make it this evening.
Because he didn't fucking message me the bloody Zoom room. And luckily you guys did via Instagram. But then I'm like, how the fuck do I get the link from my Instagram message to my computer? Because I want to be on the computer.
They've done that to me before, and I'm sitting here like trying to transcribe it from my phone to my computer. Like,
I just sent myself.
Am I on the third letter or?
I just copied and pasted it to Messenger and sent myself a message.
Ingenious.
Oh yeah,
ingenious.
Yeah, genius. I am not that smart. I would rather spend 15 minutes transcribing it, I guess.
Yeah, because there's like a fucking code on the end of the Zoom thing. This long.
It's all numbers.
Yeah.
You're like,
small as shit.
Yeah. How's everyone?
Yeah, good. We got the message from Mr. Chuck. He's had some things come up, and so he effectively had to pass on the on the Zoom. So thanks for coming in anyway, man. Really appreciate it.
All good.
Yeah, we just had JBC in earlier, so you unfortunately got to miss her, but she came on and she wanted to say hi as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what's the topic currently? San Francisco, I'm guessing.
Legion was asking the question. I guess. I'm taking the words out of your mouth, Steve. But a device that was effectively made by Imperial. Is that right?
That's the one. Yeah, the blue.
Yeah. Whether it's appropriate to do a review. How do you feel about it? That situation of a tobacco company making a device and I guess going against the kind of things that we're trying to fight for. So how do you do that in the right way or the right manner?
Depends, I suppose, on the company and the product. Is it what sort of product? Is it a pod? Is it a proper vape or is it a fucking?
I've already done
shit.
The one I did, it was the blue, so I've already done the review, and I kind of got nailed for it in the comments, which I expected. But I was just curious about what the general take was on the idea of tobacco companies eventually transitioning to something a bit more ethical, because they've got a lot more power behind them than all of us.
I mean,
they could.
It's an interesting debate. I'm yet to see the tobacco companies actually doing anything that really hurts our industry other than just trying to get into it.
Indeed. But how do you both as reviewers, like, are you receiving, those kind of things? Is that what they were asking you to
I think I got the email about the blue thing. I wasn't particularly interested for a bunch of reasons. A, it didn't look very good. B, it's another fucking pod system. C, I've got way too much shit to review.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and it was sort of like, and it's not a company I really care that much about to really rep their shit on the internet. But at the end of the day, the big tobacco companies have got a lot of fucking money. The danger obviously is creating a market whereby the industry, originals get pushed out and we end up with a product that only tobacco companies can sell.
Yep.
That's obviously a concern. But if they get in and they're doing the same stuff that we're using, but they're doing their own versions and they're fighting to have those available with the government, then that's got to be a big help to us.
Indeed.
I
think
might
that's
have been some of the thought with Juul, with Altria, trying to buy up Juul.
Well, yeah, I mean, they realize that their industry is dying and that they need to replace those profits with a new profit. And if vaping is going to be the new cigarette, then they're obviously going to want a piece of that pie. The only concern I see is them creating a system where the government approves a product that they've designed, but not approves, your geek vapes, your iJoys and all that kind of stuff. If that happens, then that's really fucking bad. But if they get involved and they spend some of that big tobacco money on actually lobbying the governments to, benefit our cause as well, then fucking what are we complaining about?
Yeah, we need them. We need them.
Yeah, I think someone was saying, these companies are not that big. You're right. iJoy, Kanga, Innokin, Candy King Juice, all those companies, they're big companies, but they're not a fucking tobacco company. They don't have tobacco money. Nowhere near.
No way.
Yeah.
I think the thing we need to be concerned about is that if the time comes that they start lobbying for vaping, that they're lobbying for vaping and not for closed systems and closed systems only.
That's what I was saying.
Because as soon as we start going that way,
then this blue product is approved, but the rest of the market isn't. Absolutely, that's my biggest concern is them creating a monopoly and ousting, all the originals.
Yeah, indeed.
David in the chat brought up about the PMTA here in the U.S. That's exactly what's going on with like companies, and like I said earlier, no vape company in the U.S. that you think is that big is that big. Vape companies don't have millions of dollars sitting around. It costs $1 million to get one flavor and 1 milligram, whether it's 0, 1, 2, whatever it is, verified through that system, which means it's going to bankrupt the small vape industry, and people like big tobacco companies like Juul, Altria, and stuff like that, they're going to walk through with a breeze. If they couldn't get rid of you at the state level or the federal level with the FDA, they're going to get rid of you in the money-wise side.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the good old capitalist gain right there, man.
Exactly. I mean, what we could hope for is, companies like the big tobacco companies putting their money in to lobby the government to have stuff legalized, to have stuff available that benefits everybody. But yeah, if we end up with a monopoly, then we're fucked.
Royally.
I remember back when they changed the laws in when I used to live in Canada, and what do you call it? Where they put the cabinets in and you have to have all the cigarettes locked away and stuff.
Yep.
And the laws were quite restrictive. Both in retail places, it had to be a big, solid metal locked cabinet with doors and all that stuff. And in venues where they had smoking, they had to put in all new air ducts and new walls and stuff. And so a lot of the places on both sides of those ended up just stopping, like little corner stores that just didn't sell cigarettes anymore, which was a major part of their revenue. But it was just too cost prohibitive for them to actually implement what the law required them to do. And this is the exact same thing you're seeing here, because, these smaller companies that, maybe license out the manufacturing of their juice to, Local Vape or some other manufacturer, they just can't afford to compete, compared to, these big tobacco companies. They got a lot more money to throw at these things.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think going back to what Chris was saying about, these companies don't have millions of dollars lying around. I think probably at one point they did, but they spent that shit on like for the e-liquid companies, they're going to spend it on upgrading their systems. You know what I mean? Because a lot of companies had to transition from, the glass bottle things, and sometimes those machines are interchangeable. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes you got to upgrade the machine, the bottling machines, and those things are expensive, man. Like just to get like an ISO 7, a legit ISO 7 lab, and to do everything, the right way, it costs a lot of money. And
ISO 7's not even that low.
Right, and then you're adding in the human element. You know what I mean? Paying more people to make more product. I mean, that money goes quick, but that was just my 2 cents on that part, because I've seen it firsthand. The money gets spent, quick.
You can see it outside the Birmingham Vapor Expo. It's got 4 wheels and a fucking badge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
good looking stuff.
You see some of those those companies or those booths, right, at the shows, and you're just like, how did you afford that shit, man? Like, come on, bro. Yeah. But you don't do shit for advocacy. Come on, man.
For some inside reference, to get a booth at ECC, you're spending at least $20K plus for a base booth, and that's just with you showing up with your own showcases and stuff like that. It's 20. Yeah. So it's insane. But you'll see these companies that'll spend all this money with like all these half-dressed chicks with their booties up and their vape brand halfway in their buttholes doing all that stuff, I don't know. Things got to change.
Trade show management is the industry to get into, because in any industry they just rape you for trade shows. Like extra costs for that's the industry to get into.
I remember when we did ECC, and it was like you couldn't unload your shit without using their trolleys, but their trolleys like cost you like $1,000 to fucking rent, like $1,000 for a fucking trolley, like just stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you
That's
want
just-
power to your fucking booth? That's like another $500. Like, just fucking, yeah.
That's
Event-
California. And
There's some cash in that.
Vegas. They do that shit here too in Vegas at the big convention centers. Same thing. Same thing. There's I think when we were at VAP Expo here in Vegas last year, they like a bunch of people just started like rolling in their own dollies past security, and they didn't
Yeah,
even
you
notice.
can't do that. You
Yeah,
can't.
they didn't. They weren't on it like they are in California. Those guys were on that shit. I
Oh yeah,
remember.
yeah. It's fucking. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Especially
You can have internet, but it's only 500 a meg a day, and that's going to cost you $800.
Yeah. And then as soon as the people come in, it's not going to work because the Wi-Fi is going to be jammed.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to live stream at your booth? That'll be an extra 10K.
just to shoot. If you don't have glass cases or in glass cases, it's like $5,000 to put your stuff in, and they just sit there. They just hold your stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people in the modders gallery, they don't bring that. They just bring their product to sell.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
set
know
up
a
a
couple of those guys.
Set up an A-frame table and fuck on your way.
I should retract my last statement. They hired the vape girls because it's cheaper, and then they can put the juice in their boobs like a shelf. Maybe they got it figured out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I don't think it's sanitary, but just saying.
That's why you don't see average people doing these vape shows, because if so, they'd have like a Halloween basket of half candy, half juice. They're just holding it like this on the face. Oh, man.
So potentially, should we talk a little bit about the survey now that we've got Sam here? Sam's obviously a South Australian, an Adelaidean. We haven't really spoken about this, but I was telling Sam about the survey when we started to do it for consumers. For those people watching earlier in the show, I guess I'm repeating myself, but we've set up a survey for customers and consumers that we'd love you to take part in, because the bigger the numbers, the better. Again, the disclaimer is that this situation, is not going to change legislation. It's not about that. It's just to get comments and data, to present as professionally as we can to the TCU, the Tobacco Control Unit here in South Australia, who effectively enforce the new legislations, and SA Health, because the customers are, I guess, effectively the people who are going to be, struggling the most. I mean, businesses are either closing or moving, so do you have some thoughts, Sam, about, how important this is, or, like its effectiveness?
Yeah, I mean, it's important for South Australians, obviously, regarding the new legislation that's started being implemented, but also that kind of data is something that can be used to go to the federal government and say, look what's happened in South Australia. Make sure you don't fucking do this on a national level.
Yeah.
Great point.
Exactly.
Everything, the battle is not necessarily lost here in South Australia, but it's going to be very hard to overturn once legislation's in. Good luck overturning that. We're kind of at that point. But what we do have is an opportunity to make sure that we get this right at a federal level.
Yeah, indeed. I guess that was also, something setting up the survey was that this was designed, for any store, any customer that walks through that door, can make their comment or, be a part of it. It wasn't really meant to be this is coming from this lobby group or this particular non-for-profit organization, because I guess they're always the ones doing the stuff. This was meant to come from, the general public. So
yeah, no, I think it's great.
Yeah. So please get involved, everyone. I'm going to say it again. You can go to my Instagram situation. The link is there. That'll take you straight to the Google Doc to fill in the situation, or you can go to breezetones.com/advocacy. I will put the link in the situation, but please get involved. It will be up for a couple of weeks so that we can give everyone an opportunity to get it to the stores and get it out there. Share it as you can. We just need numbers to take part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And especially if legislation's already in motion, it just shows the fact that there's an audience there that supports this. It shows that there's a group of people behind this. Your politicians, no matter where you are, work for you. You know, or at least they should, whether or not it happens. But it shows that there's a movement behind it. It should not necessarily make them scared, but make them realize that there's a whole audience that they don't pander to, or that they don't pay attention to, that they need to. So the numbers alone just mean that. And especially if they use it as something as shitty as, like, you know, re-election things or whatever, at least it's getting on the plate. At least it's getting out there. More people need to know. We preach this in our groups, and our groups know everything. We all know this. We need the average person to know. And that's why I think this is amazing that you're doing that, especially in the shops, to have them come in and do this, because like Jen said earlier, not everyone that shops in a shop knows what's going on. A lot of people work 9 to 5 and they don't use Instagram. They don't use social media like that. And they might post a picture of their pasta that they think looks good, but they're not a part of this. And they need, because it affects them as well.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, they wake up one day and they can't get the products that they've been using to stop smoking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The scary thing is, I was watching the feed from South of Australian Parliament when they were debating this on the week that they passed it, and they were arguing back and forth all sorts of stuff. And the the complete lack of knowledge and understanding of what this is we do, how it works, why it's functional, how these devices work, and how you can get your hands on them, everything across the board. They knew nothing. They're standing there in all seriousness, arguing legislation that's going to affect people's healths, and yet they know nothing about it. They had one person who was their informed party member, and they were asking her the most basic questions, and her answers were marginally more informed than her. She knew these things existed, but not how they worked. It was just, I was just blown away with the complete lack of research that they had done. If you'd asked me to craft together a law, I would go out and fucking spend months gathering information. They had nothing. Just that these things are bad and it's got nicotine. No, that's bad. We gotta do something about this. Think of the kids. You know, it was just clueless. Absolutely clueless.
And I understand exactly where you're
What are
coming
you
from.
doing, Sam?
I'm playing with a new mod. Well, actually, a very old mod. I don't know. How long have you guys been vaping?
I'm the newbie here, no doubt.
4 years.
You might remember it, but probably not. Does anyone remember the slug mod?
No.
No.
I started
Show my
vaping in,
vapor age.
2012.
Yeah, it's a real old Filipino Mac mod.
Oh yeah.
Real old.
Look at that.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen that somewhere. One of the shops
That
used
is
to carry a lot of the Filipino stuff.
Has like this cool.
Silver Wolf Customs. It was like alongside that stuff.
Is that the firing button up there too?
Yeah, it's got this like cool flintlock style, like
That's right.
yeah, super
Wicked.
old school. These were rare as fuck back in the day. Like you just couldn't get them. And then I was at NVE earlier in the year, and this dude came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, I'm a fan." Right. He's like, he had a slug mod, and he was like, "Dude, check this out." I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck, dude?" He's like, "Yeah, I found this shop who's got like 3 of them, like been sitting in the back room for years and just haven't sold. Like, do you want one?" So I got him to buy me one, and it just arrived today. But I'm going to do like a flashback review, you know, a mod from, this would be 5 years old, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years old. But yeah, just something fun, something old.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think I saw one of those. This shop over here in Vegas used to sell like Silver Wolf Customs.
Yeah.
And, what's the other? There was another big Filipino company back then. I can't think of their name right now. But
So,
they had
if
like a
it's so-
whole Filipino mod section, like all the atomizers, and you know, it's cool. They make really good stuff, man. Like it's like weighty, man. Like
Yeah, the
It's like-
Filipino stuff's always pretty solid, especially like the old school shit. They did, you know, if anyone remembers the Cherry Bomber, it was just like a brick of fucking copper.
dude, oh my gosh, the Cherry Bomber.
It was like 1.5 kilos of just
Yeah,
mod.
that was the other company. That's what I'm forgetting their name. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I could think
So
of
I've
the
got a
logo.
question.
It was a BB box mod. No,
No.
oh, fuck. Who did the cherry bomber? Anyway,
So if
Yeah.
they're if that is 4 years old, like what kind of batteries is that? Is that
single
like
18650.
single? Yeah.
Yeah, it could easily be like a single 21 these days, but that wasn't really a thing back then.
Get your Dremel out, man.
Yeah, I was like, could I? Maybe? Nah. Fuck it up.
Awesome. I'm going to say it, is that someone was addressing Mr. Paul?
That's what it was. MCV Philippines. That's
Yeah.
the company that made the cherry bomber, MCV.
Was it MCV or MCM?
I thought it was MCV. Right?
One of them. I thought it was MCM, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, MCV. Yeah, I had to look it up right now.
Yeah, MCV. That's right.
Jeez.
So
Remember when
in the
people-
Philippines, are those companies?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, like a lot of those Filipino mods, are they companies that stay around, or they just, release one or two and then, move on? Or
These guys are still, because I think MCV then became MCM. Or am I getting confused?
I don't know. I might be confused, but I was pretty sure that it was the MCV was the cherry bomber.
There's a lot of them are still going. I remember one of the old school ones, El Diablo. They're no longer doing stuff. But a lot of them are still going. A lot of those guys were, machinists long before vaping. So, they're still around doing a lot of the work that they were doing before. Whether or not they're still doing vape gear, don't know. But yeah, a lot of them still going.
ladies
Hey,
and gentlemen,
Becky.
Mr. Labworks.
Hey,
Hey,
dickhead.
How
Hey,
you doing,
dickhead.
Paul?
How are you doing, dickhead?
Good, mate. You? Oh, you'd remember this. You'd get a kick out of this.
What?
Take
What
it,
have you got?
take it apart. I've got it half apart, but you might recognize.
Oh, crap. Where,
BRB.
where the fuck did you find that? In your box of tricks?
A bloke at a NVE came wandering up to me. He's like, "Wait, check this out." And I was like, "Holy fuck, where did you get that?" He's like, "Dude, I found a shop in the States that had like 3 of them sitting in a back room. He bought one for himself, and he then went and bought one for me, and I bought it off him."
Yeah.
So brand new, never been used, been literally sitting, in a fucking vape shop for 4 years or some shit.
Yeah, the fucking bitch, it hit like a troubled child on crack. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could get one, I remember you couldn't find them back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, well, they were hard to find, but yeah, they hit like a troubled child. Yeah, troubled
child.
child on crack. Yeah. I can never get that out.
Troubled child.
Yeah.
I have a troubled child.
Yeah, but not on crack.
Indeed.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Paul. What's going on, man?
Trying to work, but been dealing with shows today that have all been super cool.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Still not ours. No, but there's been some super cool shows today.
What's that, Malone?
It's a C frame of some description.
Oh, I
The
recognize
Silver
that.
Wolf Customs Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were nice. I remember my mate had one of those.
Yeah. I remember when I bought this thing, I was like, this is the most expensive mod I ever bought at the time. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to use this every single day.
Yeah.
Because I spent
To justify the price.
yeah, just, I spent $230, I think, on it. And that was the most I had ever spent on a mod. And I was like,
Until you kill it. Yeah.
yeah, well, I played it out. I really did. And now it just sits. But whatever. I feel like I got my $230 worth out of it.
Doesn't it kill you though? You drool over something, you save for it, you order it, you prize it, use it every single day for 6 months, and then eventually it just sits on that back shelf over there behind everything else.
Yeah.
And every now and then you look at it and go, I should use.
We're just like kids with toys. Seriously, we haven't changed. Like, I gotta have that new G.I. Joe, Mom. And then like fucking 3 weeks later, he's missing a leg somewhere underneath the bed, you know. Gotta have him.
Like Andy's room on Toy Story.
Yeah.
The fucking rocket strap, firecracker strapped to his back.
And wow, now I've been dragged into the modders gallery. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I tried to find my first vape, but it was an eye taste. I don't know if you guys remember Cartomizers. But
Yes.
it took 510 Cartomizers, but I used it for marijuana.
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah, you were still punching holes in that shit then.
Yeah. That thing lasted a while, but that was my first vape. And then, eventually moved on to nicotine stuff. But man, that was like $80 worth of fucking crap. I'll tell you. Anyway.
Oh, what happened to your face, man? Just somebody slapped some fur on the bottom of it, or what? What the hell? Last time I saw you were clean cut.
Things grow. It's Australia.
You got that. You got that.
It's because it's winter. Your
Yeah.
fucking balls get a bit cold.
Makes sense. That's why I cut mine off. 'Cause it's hot as balls here.
Well, I've been cutting the rest off, but yeah.
See that? Yeah. Looks good. Looks very D'Artagnan-esque, you know?
D'Artagnan, indeed. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Pirate Musketeer.
So, Sam, are you heading to New Zealand in December?
Yeah. Yep. I will be over for the Expo, and we're just nutting it out now, so it's like 95% done. But Nick Grim Green and Matt from Suck My Mod will be coming out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
So that's gonna be pretty sick. I'm gonna take the two of them on a bro trip down to Hawke's Bay.
Oh, nice.
Hang out with Morris and go shooting and drinking beer and eating burgers and all that kind of shit. So
And
Have either of
barbecue.
them been there?
no, neither of them have been down to Australia or New Zealand. So I was like, well, if you're gonna make the fucking long flight, we'll make it worth your while and come hang out in Hawke's Bay for a bit. So
Nice.
that's gonna be pretty fucking cool.
Amazing food.
Yeah,
Amazing
They got some
food.
great breweries. They got some awesome food down there. Beer is great around Hawke's Bay. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So yeah, we're going to drive down from Auckland after the show and then hang out there for a few days.
What's the show? And I guess my next question is, do they advertise them, outside of NZ, so Australians could potentially make the trip across as well?
I'm sure they'll be doing some marketing to the Aussies because, obviously it's not very far and it is an oceanic vape expo. So it is sort of for the region. So yeah, I know a lot of Aussies came over last year, and it was obviously much smaller than the European events and things like that. But it was a great show. They had really good mix of vendors and manufacturers, and the actual location, the event itself was done really, really well. They had some they had a craft brew, beer bar rather than just your crap mainstream shit. So they did a really good job. And this year's going to be even bigger. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And do a good number of the big companies come out, or is it more?
Oh yeah, you had iJoy, you had Smock there, you had Innikin there, all of those big brands. Then you got your other companies like Superb with Jabo was over. You had a lot of the local vendors had sort of booths set up, and they were representing Broadside and all sorts of stuff with just products. And then you had juice companies there. And yeah, it was just a good mix of both local and sort of big international brands. I was skeptical at first. I was like, no one's going to come to New Zealand. This will be a flop. And they flew me over for it. And I was really surprised. They did a great job.
And do you think that they don't, like we don't have them in Australia because of the nicotine situation?
Yeah,
The companies are not interested?
Couldn't do it because most of the states now have put vaping where you can't smoke and you can't smoke indoors, so you just wouldn't be able to do a vape event in Australia really, because I don't think you'd get around because in Victoria you can't vape in a vape shop.
Yeah.
Correct. No,
Yeah,
correct.
And Sydney, New South Wales is the same now, isn't it?
Same.
Yeah, and South Australia obviously you've just got, so there's nowhere you could do it where you could vape indoors. And that would firstly kill an event because you got to be able to vape at the event. Secondly, no juice with Nick. I think that's another thing. And so between those, it just wouldn't really be possible in Australia.
Yeah.
Someone just announced something up in Queensland, trying to do a vape event at a venue. I still don't know if it's going to go ahead, but I think they're going to have like kickback from it.
Yeah, I just don't think you can get around the vaping inside sort of thing at an event. Maybe your local vape shop, you can probably, maybe get away with it here and there, but I don't think you can have a convention center with thousands of people and have them all vaping indoors.
No.
Not even if you were effectively doing it as a private, like private event or whatever.
Well, see, that doesn't matter because tobacco laws are tobacco laws. Even casinos can't have smoking rooms.
Yeah.
If a casino can't have a smoking room in Australia, then what fucking chance do you have of allowing vapors to vape indoors, even if it was a private event? Like it's a tobacco law.
No, Sam, current law on vaping or smoking in a casino, you've got to go to an outside area.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But a casino would have a smoking area if they could, because they've got people that want to smoke that they want to keep inside gambling. So that's what I'm saying. If a casino can't have a vaping area indoors or a smoking area indoors, then no vape event's going to be able to.
Correct.
And that
But the only way we're going to be able to do it is if we do it outside, like a Splendor in the Grass or a Doof Park.
Yeah, as an outdoor vape event.
And that's just not going to happen. Yeah. Which could be fun.
That's actually a really good idea.
As
soon as you said that, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you did
there we go. Problem solved.
Did it during the summer or the spring or something, it could work.
Well, it never rains in South Australia, so
the other problem that Australia has. The other problem that Australia has is population. See, in the States, you can do one somewhere near New York, and you've got all those people very close. Yeah. And you can do it in the West Coast, and you've got all those people very close. Same as Britain and stuff. But Australia is so spread out and sparsely populated. What state are we going to grace with this? All the others are going to miss out. A lot of people aren't going to travel 2 or 3 states over. So if we put it in Byron Bay, I mean, who the fuck's going to come? We put it outside near Sydney, who's going to come from Queensland?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Okay. Yeah. You overlay Australia onto the landmass of the United States. We're pretty much the same. But here's the thing.
Exactly. We're the same size.
You've got to fly 3 hours to Victoria, 6 hours from, the West Coast to the East Coast, vice versa. It's the problem. How the fuck are we going to do this?
Yeah. It's too big a country and too fewer people, unlike the States, so you just wouldn't get it enough.
Correct. Same landmass. We've got 25 million. US is 300 million.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a country the size of America and a population the size of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yep. But we've got dickhead laws here that no one will bend over for. Bottom line.
Yeah, indeed. So
I want to speak to that guy.
Which guy?
Ben Dover.
Ben Dover. Yeah. That's the worst ever, dude.
Dad joke number 2, fail.
Yep.
Wait, is that his real name?
It's gonna be my real name. It's not gonna be the Vape Malone channel. It's gonna be the Ben Dover channel,
Well, at least someone's getting some that.
right? So everybody knows
And over does do
the tip menu is now live. You can activate Vape Malone with your hearts. So just throwing that out there. Ding,
And
ding, 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 ding.
and Kathy 21, yes, I am a real person.
What is
CGI?
as opposed to what? A fake? Like we just brought in like a fucking mannequin. No, he's just one of those Chinese robot dolls.
AI.
The Japanese robot dolls.
Actually, I think for the next show we get a mannequin.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Hollow it out, you know, and then blow vape up its butt out its mouth.
Well, apparently Labworks the other day was, you know, it came back to me and said, oh no, this is some fake person that works for some fake company. I went, no, I actually own my own company, so go fuck yourself.
You heard it here first, people. Breaking boundaries. Got Labworks to say the F word.
He's not just whistling Dixie.
Yep.
What? I'm not allowed to swear on this show?
What?
No.
I better go.
Yeah. For the last episode here on the Vape Malone channel, we're going to be pushing into a more professional direction. There will no longer be drinking allowed on the show. There won't be no swearing. And
So this is my last show.
fuck, I forgot the rest.
This is
Yeah.
I have not been drinking. B, yes, I did swear. And C, go fuck yourself.
Thanks. We appreciate your input, sir.
Have we encountered everything we wanted to encounter today, gentlemen?
I think so.
The last Amigos on Vape Malone channel. From now on, we're going to be doing the Amigos.
Oh, Jim.
So we're going
Jim
to have
made it.
from different people that vape. But it's not going to be just vape related because vapors do other shit too, like poop, cook, clean. Anyways,
You're in charge of pooping. All the poop videos come from Chris.
so I'm never going to have any content. Anyways,
Basically.
Because you pooped it all out.
it's all right, dude. I got like some Taco Bell calling my name. I'll got you guys. Anyways, we're moving on to the new Amigos Hub. You know, everyone can be part of it. Everyone can submit. We're gonna have some cool stuff for you guys. The discount, we got the giveaways from the people that are sponsoring the channel. None of that comes to us directly. It's straight to you guys, the people that watch it. There's nothing that's coming towards us. Everything we get is coming straight at you. We just want to say thank you for being a part of this and for helping us start the news thing. Over here with the horns, Vape Malone.
Coming straight out of you.
I haven't drank it.
It's coming straight out of you. Sorry, man.
It was more the action.
I didn't mean to fuck up your monologue, dude. It was a good monologue. It's like the bad guy monologue, but a good guy was saying it. Kind of.
So there we go. That's all I got.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Yep.
Stay hydrated, everyone. Are we done now, or are we gonna? Anybody else got anything? Anybody want to do some like shameless plugging or whatever? Just do whatever you want.
Nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't promote anything.
I know you promote. I know you promote plugging of some sort, but
Not plugging.
that was the joke.
I know.
It was implied, but
Inserted, implied, same shit, different island. Anyways.
yeah.
Special shout out, to Bogan coming by. We got Labworks in the house. Legion, we got him coming on. By the way, your CBD's on the way.
I'm not sure you meant to say that.
I had to label it as nail polish so to get through customs.
Dietary supplement. Dietary supplement.
But anyway,
just put metal tube.
Yeah.
That's what China does. It seems to get through fine.
Metal toys.
Even
Everything that comes from China is labeled metal toy.
I can't believe they wrote nunchucks on the fucking nunchaku kit. And it got through.
Wow, dude.
They wrote nunchaku on the fucking product description on the customs clearance.
They were probably like, what the fuck's a nunchaku? Is it like a nunchuck?
Yeah, like how did they not? But that got through twice. They sent a package twice with a pair of fucking nunchucks in there. I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
How did this get through?
When I sent the gear RTA to Adam, I just wrote on there, what did I write? Decorative
table ornament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decorative ornament.
Table ornament. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, it is, right?
Yeah.
I smoked
It's on my
a bunch of fake Rolexes through customs in Afghanistan when I came back from overseas by talking to the guy. So whoever the custom guy was with the nunchucks, he deserves a tip.
Thanks for letting my nunchucks through, bro.
Yeah, right?
Hit myself in the nuts 4 times. Thanks, Ron.
20,000 pairs of nunchucks? I got you, fam.
I got them and I hung them up somewhere and I was like, that's going to be what I grab if I ever get like a home invader, and I'm just going to end up knocking myself out trying to. I got this, babe. I totally got this.
Hold on the floor. The body's over there.
It's just like tying up my wife and kids. I'm just unconscious on the floor from knocking myself out.
My nose is broken.
Yeah, but at least you didn't get tied up. You gotta look at the silver lining.
At least. All right. Well, that's it. Everybody look for to our social medias. We'll be posting the links to the new Amigos and Co. And next week, the live show will be on the Amigos and Co. channel and hub. Hubba.
Woo!
All right. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye,
Great
everyone.
work, guys.
Come on.
Thanks. Oh, yeah. And I also want to say thank you to all of our lovely guests. Bogan, JBC earlier, and the Pirate Labworks.